Thank you so much, Ewan. Well, we continue our discussion this morning with parenting expert Nikki Bush about the importance of preparing your child for the future.
We're joined this morning by creative parenting expert Nikki Bush discussing how to future-proof your child. In fact, the name of her book that she authored has now reached 10,000 copies. Congratulations on it. We're so proud of you. And also glad to have you as part of our team advising our parents out there. Now, as a parent, your role is sometimes referred to as being your child's first teacher of everything.
Yes.
Why is it so important to fulfill that role?
We are the child's primary teacher because this is a very visual generation of children. They take in more cues from what they see than from what they hear. And we are their role models. They are watching us all the time. So what we see, what we say, and what we do has to be as congruent as possible. We are also their guide. We're no longer the sage on the stage, we're the guide alongside because we are all co-creating the future as we speak. And we're in a situation now where things are very different. Companies like Ernst & Young, EY, have removed the degree filter from their employment criterion. They are no longer only looking for people with degrees. And as parents, we have to start opening our minds to the fact that things are changing out there. And we're not saying that degrees are not important. It's just that we need to make sure that we get the right degree for the right kind of job. And these days, that's a bit of a loaded question because we actually don't know what the jobs of the future are. 60 to 70% of the jobs our children will do have not yet been invented. And last year alone, McKinsey reported that in the UK, 30% of graduates who entered the workforce were doing jobs that had never been seen before.
Wow.
In the old days, there was this thing where if you had a daughter, you made her do a secretarial course as a backup. That was the backup plan. These days, what we would recommend is that if your child can go and do some kind of programming or coding, that would be a good idea because everybody will increasingly work with machines, robots, computers, and we have to teach those machines what to do. So that kind of thing is a good backup plan. And we need to help our children to, in essence, get a nice broad qualification probably first, and as they progress and as things change in the industry, to start narrowing down and specializing in something. But knowing that whatever it is your child studies, they need to know this and you need to know this as a parent. They will have to adapt it. This is a 100% guarantee.
How important is it for a parent to teach their child to follow their passion and what they love doing from an early age? Because I think you get to a stage, and I remember when I was in matric and I had to make the decision of what I'd study, I followed what my mother wanted me to study, but it wasn't necessarily what I was passionate about, and I ended up doing something completely different.
That does often happen with parents living vicariously through their children or parents having the grand plan. And children actually take 25 years to mature and develop. I don't think many of us have a fair idea of what we want to do until about then. But meanwhile, you've had to study something. And I don't think that everything is lost either. Whatever you studied, you learned something from it, and you probably have taken parts of it, or just the process of studying and learning and put it into what you're doing today. If your child can step into a field of interest, a broad field of interest, I think that's first prize. And once they're in the field of interest, they can start honing whatever it is that really grabs them or where the future is going for that industry because everything is changing.
Well, thank you very much for joining us once again, Nikki. We really do appreciate it. And I think as we look forward to future-proofing our children, maybe very important to remember words that Nikki shared with us early on, that as a parent, you're no longer the sage on the stage, but you're the guide alongside.